Arion and the Dolphin. When Arion played his harp, everybody listened. The Greek men put down their tools, the Greek women put down their pots, the Greek children put down their toys, and even the birds in the air, the animals in the field, and the fish in the sea stopped their screeching and scratching and splashing to listen to his beautiful songs. Arion was hardly more than a boy, but no one played the harp more skillfully or sang so sweetly. The king himself had said so. And so it came to no surprise when Arion decided to leave his homeland and sail for the island of Sicily, hoping to find fame and fortune there as well. It happened, of course, when Arion played, everyone listened. The Sicilian men put down their tools, the Sicilian women put down their pots, the Sicilian children put down their toys, and along with the birds and the fish and the animals, they marveled at the Greek lad's lovely songs. The people of Sicily showered Arion with silver and gold and jewels, so it was a rich young man that he boarded a Greek ship and set for home. The captain of the ship knew all about Arion, but he cared little for music and a great deal for gold. So when they had sailed far from shore, he made his sailors grab a hold of Arion and drag him to the sides of the ship. "You are a rich young man, Arion," the captain laughed, "but not for long. My men are going to kill you and throw your body overboard, and we shall have your treasure." "Dear captain," Arion sighed, "if your heart is set on ending my life and stealing my fortune, there's nothing I can do to stop you. But at least grant me one wish before I die. Let me play my harp one last time." The captain shrugged. What harm can it do? And he tossed the musician his harp. Arion began to play. Arion began to sing. And just as he expected, everybody listened. The sailors put down their ropes. The captain put down his sword. Even the gulls above and the fish below stopped their swooping and swimming to listen to the lad's last beautiful song. But just as the song was about to finish, Arion grabbed his harp tightly and flung himself from the boat into the bright blue sea. "Don't worry about him, lads," the captain called. "No one could swim to shore from here. The sharks will see to that. Now let's have a look at that treasure." Arion, meanwhile, began to sink, for he could not hold on to his harp and swim. Down and down, deeper and deeper, sank the poor singer. And then suddenly he stopped, and instead of sinking further, he began to rise, up and up, higher and higher, until his head popped out of the waves and could breathe again. Arion looked down and was surprised to find himself sitting on the back of a dolphin who had heard Orion's beautiful song and was determined that such a singer should not drown. Arion wrapped his legs round the dolphin's sides. He wrapped one arm round its neck, and the dolphin carried Arion through the waves all the way back to Greece. Arion thanked his new friend and waved goodbye, and the dolphin leaped up out of the sea, clapping and clacking his farewell. Then Arion tucked his harp under his arm and set off to see the king. When he arrived at the palace, the king was busy. In fact, he was talking with the very sailors who had stolen Orion's treasure. So Arion asked the guard to keep silent, while he slipped quietly behind a stone pillar to listen. "It was a sorry thing, your majesty," the captain explained. "The storm came up upon us like a fierce beast, and before we could do a thing, poor Arion and his treasure were swept overboard." The king shook his head sadly. "I can't believe it," he sighed. "I shall never hear that beautiful voice and harp again." But just as the king finished, the sound of a harp came floating out of the back of the hall, and it was followed by Orion's beautiful voice. The guards put down their spears, the king put down his royal staff, and the sailors fell trembling to their knees. Arion slipped out from behind the pillar and walked slowly towards the throne. The king clapped his hands for joy and shouted, "You did not drown. What power saved you from the terrible storm?" "There was no storm, your majesty," Arion explained, and then he told the king all about the captain's wicked plan. Soldiers were sent to the ship, and sure enough, they found Orion's treasure. So the captain and his crew were packed off to prison. Orion's treasure was returned to him, and the king ordered his sculptors to make a statue of the boy on the back of a dolphin, in memory of Arion and his amazing rescue.